Hi Scorpio, welcome to your personal energy focus reading. Because it's the middle of December, we're going to call this personal energy focus for walking into 2020. We're going to look at health and wellness, we're going to look at career and money, and we're going to look at family, friends, and co-workers. We're not doing love because we just did love last week. So God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for my Scorpio friends. Thank you for the subscribes, the likes, the shares, the comments, ringing the bell, all that stuff, the donations, and thank you for the passersby who engage in this community. We ask you to show us what are the energies that Scorpio will be navigating as we move into this new year and this new decade. Show us clearly in regard to health and wellness, in regard to career and money, and in regard to relationships such as family, friends, and co-workers. What are the energies that Scorpio will be navigating? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. So Scorpio, going into this new year, this new decade, in health and wellness, wow, we have the base chakra. Going into career and money, we have partnerships and alliances. And going into the new year, the new decade with family, wow, friends and co-workers, we have the throat chakra. Okay, because we have both of these chakras, I feel like they're very specific to each one. We're starting this reading out with John Holland's Psychic Tarot. It is an oracle deck, and we're going to clarify with The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. And before we move into clarifying, we're going to do an oracle message also by Colette Baron Reed, The Enchanted Map. Okay. So God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for our Scorpio friends. Show us clearly what is the oracle message that goes along with this particular energy focus reading. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity, and we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. So your oracle message is cleaning house. Very appropriate. Okay, so Scorpio, looks like you have some transforming to do in this new decade. Things that you're going to be getting rid of and moving away from. It's time to clear the clutter and make way for better things. When you see the cleaning house card in a reading, it's time to declutter your life. Get rid of unwanted things in your physical home and release what you no longer want or truly need. Is there any unfinished business you should address? Thoughts, memories, and emotional baggage must be swept out of your house as well. Your conscience must be clear for you to move freely in the world. Celebrate a spring cleaning and feel the freedom as you make way for much better things. Look at what you've resisted, discarding, and be honest about its value. Be honest. Clean house. Okay, so with those cards on the table and this card right here as your oracle message, I feel like you are you're holding on to something. You're allowing things to hold you back in your life right now, Scorpio. Which is very interesting to me because especially with your career and money readings as of recent, and with your personal what Spirit wants you to know readings, well, I guess this does make sense. Okay, I'm just going to let Spirit talk. I'm not going to try to figure it out in my brain. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for my Scorpio friends. Show us clearly with these energies on the board, base chakra in health and wellness, parenting, partnerships and alliances in career and money, and throat chakra in family, friends, and co-workers. Show us clearly What are we talking about here? Give us some context. We thank you for clear and concise messages, love, light, and prosperity, clarification, confirmation, and validation. So, health and wellness, you have base chakra. That's where we find our strength, our foundations, the things that from early on we felt this is how the world works, and this is how we find our safety, and this is how we earn our money, and this is what is right, and this is what is wrong, and all that stuff. So health and wellness, that's where they're asking you to focus at. And they're starting with the King of Earth as a clarifier, and the second clarifier there is the 5 of Earth. Very interesting. Okay, in the career and money area, we're looking at the partnerships and alliances, and they're clarifying that with the 9 of Earth and the King of Fire. And in your family and relationships, you've got family, friends, and coworkers. You've got the throat chakra, and they're clarifying it with the Page of Fire. And the 3 of Air. Okay, so we're going to dig right into this. So I feel like what they're saying is within your foundational beliefs, right? I feel like you've mastered some things, because the King of Earth is the king of the 3D world. Like, he's mastered processes, and he's mastered the ability to make money, and he's mastered the ability to implement systems, and he navigates this 3D world, his reality, in a way that, well, he's a master. So, but here's the thing with the root chakra. I feel like maybe that wasn't always the case, because see, this king didn't just wake up with this ability. He has been through some things, and he's learned some things about navigating the material world, right? That's how he became king. So I feel like they're saying to remember, right, what you've accomplished and what you've done, and especially if it didn't line up with what you thought growing up, is like draw on what you've accomplished, on what you have allowed yourself to be able to understand about business, money, relationships, all these things that we navigate in this 3D world. And then it says it's clarifying also with the 5 of Earth. Now, in the traditional tarot, this is the 5 of Pentacles, and that's the lack mentality, and that is the feeling left out in the cold, or walking away from traditions. And I feel like in this particular deck, it's more in line with the walking away from traditions, walking away from what you know, because what you thought or what people said, right? Because you have proved something different in your life. Not only have you proved it different, you've released those thoughts of lack. You've released all those things that used to hold you back, that are no longer holding you back. So they're asking you to release it from your root chakra. In other words, focus on what you've accomplished, and don't allow what you used to believe pull you backwards or back into a lack mentality, where you think, okay, well, I did it this time, but that's not how life is, because I truly know that blah, 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 whatever. I hope I'm explaining this the way I'm understanding it, because it's showing up in your health and wellness, right? Okay. Because it's showing up in your health and wellness, mind, body, and spirit. So I feel like it's more for you with your mind and your body, because you have overcome so much of this but some of it still lives there. So even though you've accomplished it out here in the 3D world, and you're allowing yourself to release those thoughts, they're saying that this is important for you to continue to always release those that lack mentality. It would be easy for you to slip back into it. So focus on what you've accomplished in spite of where you came from, in spite of what your upbringing was, in spite of everything that you were taught growing up. You overcame so much, and they're saying focus on that and release that old stuff. Clean it out. It's baggage that that will not serve you going forward. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for right now, unless they ask me to come back to it in a minute. So with your partnerships and alliances, right? I feel like what they're saying is, and I'm getting quite emotional with this right now. You've done it on your own, Scorpio. Your partners, your alliances, you became your own partner and your own alliance. You decided if it's going to be, it's up to me, right? And so you got in touch with your inner self, with your inner guide. You allowed your intuition and your instinct to move you forward. She looks at things a little differently than the rest of the world, right? She says partnerships are great, but if your partner's not rooted in the same energy, right? This is your guides, your angels, your archangels, your instinct, your intuition. If your partner's not rooted in that same place, then the partnership doesn't work. So you're relying on yourself and your guides and your angels and your archangels as your true partners, the Holy Spirit as your true partners. See how nebulous looking this card is? All this gold around here, it's like mystical. It's like this is the card of independence. So you've allowed yourself to partner with your higher self and with the Holy Spirit. Is basically what I'm seeing. And you're following your passion. This, if you're not in this energy, right? This is where Spirit's telling you, Spirit's showing you that these energies are available for you to grasp onto and do things as you move into the next chapter, the next decade. They're saying that this heart space right here, look, this is the King of Fire, same as the King of Wands. So so you've got this you've mastered the processes, right? Or you can master it by clearing your root chakra. And then it's saying when you follow your heart and you follow that inspiration, see all this gold right here? See this gold right here that you're rooted in? This is what's rooted, the gold. On top is the green. This is spirit. This is growth. This is trust. This purple is royalty. And the hand's reaching up. It's like your spirit guide's reaching down and you're reaching up to grab onto it. I love this. And they're saying that's where your guidance is coming from. And you've got the wisdom within yourself to understand that this is important. That this is the only way that you're going to move ahead is by really and truly letting Spirit be your guide. So this is another energy in career and money. And again, this could be if you are a clerk at McDonald's, or if you're the CEO of a major corporation, or if you own your own business, whatever it is, your instinct is what's going to move you forward in these processes, in any direction you choose to go. It's your instinct, your connection with your inner guide, with your inner self, your higher self, that's going to move you forward, not necessarily following somebody else's rules, because you've mastered your own way. These old ideas about how to move forward don't work for you. They don't work for you. So then with family, friends, and coworkers, we're getting truth. And I feel like there must be something going on within your circle, within the people around you, where they keep trying to tell you that this is not a good thing for you, right? And you're sitting here saying, but I'm walking it out. So your truth is Your truth is maybe some of that needs to be left behind, because in your truth, you're a very creative person. You're a very creative person, and again, those instincts drive you. So within your relationships, I feel like they're saying, focus on your creativity, and if somebody doesn't agree with it, either let it be okay with them or let it be okay with you that they don't agree, but speak your truth. Speak about what works for you, not in a combative kind of way. Just be creative with your words. And then this right here says there's some things we have to let go, right? Thoughts, ideas, when people hurt our feelings, because sometimes it's the people that we love the most that don't get on board with us. And that feels like betrayal. So this right here says we have to turn our back on that kind of hurt, right? We have to turn our back on that and realize that this light is the barrier between them and us. We have to allow them to walk their journey. We have to allow them to be able to be stuck in whatever beliefs they're in and still love them, but it doesn't define what beliefs we have to live by. And that's what they're saying you have the ability to do, because the air is the same as the swords. The three of air is about or the Three of Swords is about heartbreak and betrayal. This is not a love reading. So this is regular relationships, like our kids, our spouse, maybe, our parents, our friends, our co-workers, people that we love and trust that just don't get on board. It's like we have to turn away from that and not let it define us. We still have to follow our truth and be willing to say, look, I do things in a very different way than you do, but it doesn't mean that I can't love you or that you can't love me. You don't have to agree with me for us to be able to have a relationship. So I'm not going to require you to believe with me, but don't ask me to believe your way either. Something like that. But you have to verbalize. You have to allow your creativeness, who you truly are, to be expressed within your relationships. So again, if this isn't where you actually are, these are energies that you can tap into that will help you move forward in 2020. So Spirit doesn't sprinkle fairy dust on us and say, here, now your life is different. We do have to take action. There are things that we have to decide and things that we have to implement to be able to make the changes that we want to make. To be able to clean our house and get rid of the clutter, get rid of the things that we trip over, get rid of the things that cause us to stumble, get rid of the things that hold us back in some way or another. Okay, Scorpio. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much again for my Scorpio friends, and I thank you for the message on the table. Please show us clearly what is the PS that goes with this message for our Scorpio friends. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show us the PS, please. Okay. So Scorpio, they're saying PS. Okay, so I love this because this right here is about attachments, basically. Things that we, again, our foundational beliefs, things that we believe to be true based on how we were raised. And even whenever we go out and do something different than what we were taught and we master it, we still have that little thing, that little nagging thing in the back of our head that says, well, this isn't the way it's normally done. This could have been a fluke, or this could, we tend to talk ourselves out of it, but they're saying, no, don't be attached to those old ideas about how things are supposed to work. This is about earthly attachments, foundational beliefs, those things that hold us back, lack mentality, all that stuff. It's also about addictions and stuff like that. But in this reading, the way that it's laid out, this card is about hanging on to those old ideas. And look, they're saying you don't have to hang on to it, and nobody's forcing you to hang on to it. If you're still there, it's because you choose to be still there, because this devil that tries to hold us back doesn't really hold us, doesn't really have any power over us unless we just willingly give it to it. So they're saying You're not required to stay in that place of fear and lack. This is where your strength is. This is who you're allowed to be, as the victor, the one who overcomes so much that that people look to you and say, wow, that's not the way we were taught to do it. Wow, you're the only one in our family who ever blah, blah, blah. Wow. That kind of stuff, where they look up to you and because you're walking in your truth and you're expressing yourself in your truth, in the different person that you are. And whenever we do all this stuff, right, whenever we can let go of the limiting beliefs and we can walk in the true creativity of who we are, it's like we no longer need somebody's approval. We no longer need their validation, nor do we need their permission. And so we suddenly have all this fullness inside of us. And what happens? Whenever we have fullness inside of us, it naturally comes out. And so we're more generous with the people around us. But not only that, because we're on a different frequency or a different type of vibration, we're attracting in others who also give back to us. So there's more of an equal give and take within your sovereignty, within who you are. There's an equal give and take going on. It may not be that who you give to gives back to you, but you may give here and somebody else gives back to you here. But there's equal give and take within your reality. Okay. So Scorpio, that is your personal energy focus. Again, if you're not here, if you're not feeling the feels of this, just know that these energies are here for you to navigate and to walk into if you choose to. No magic fairy dust. We always have to do our part too. So thank you for stopping in, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. And until then, have a super duper day. Bye.